Okay, good morning everybody. Welcome to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. We are in the Cessna 172. This has got the Garmin system in it, so we are flying IFR from Oak Island, right here on the East Coast. Take off and head inland, and then land there at Bristol-Johnson, Kingsport, right there. So, a bit of a journey, but we will get it done, hopefully with no issues like we had the other day, or last couple days it seems. So anyway, let's get in here and get everything set up. We'll turn off the weather because we're only going up to 8,000 feet, so it's fine. We'll have a nice little smooth flight this morning.
Sierra, Uniform Tango Traffic 172 SB01 taking off runway 5 departure to the west.
Oh, there's nobody there. Okay. Alright, let's get some lights on. See if we can find some lights for the inside. I know there's light somewhere. I think we are. We'll just go right for our 8,000 feet. Actually, let's go to 4,000 first, and then we'll go to 8,000 from there. Flight director on, and let's see what other stuff can we do. So there's vertical, approach, back course. Okay, there's all that. I don't think we need. Oh, we're going to turn the weather off so we can go to our. Do that. Perfect. Altimeter went back. Just a little bit of light there. Perfect. All right, we can go ahead and release the parking brake. Still got the sound of wind behind us though. Kind of weird. All right, let's go ahead and put just a bit of flap down. All right, let's make sure our co-pilot is talking to. Yep, perfect. All right, let's go.
Washington departure 172 SB01 is passing 600 feet climbing 8,000 feet.
172SB01 Washington departure altimeter 29.92 continue as planned.
Still losing. Not going up. Alright, so we gotta turn on the vertical speed.
SB01, please expedite your climb 8,000 feet.
No, that's not gonna happen. We cannot expedite in a plane like this. That's for sure. All right. Well, I think we are finally making a positive rate there. We are on track. Leave the other lights on. Well, even that might be a little. At least we'll have a nice sunrise flight here again. Of course, it's going to take us a bit of time to get there because this is not the fastest plane in the world, but that's okay. So there was a few things released in the marketplace last night. Well, more than a few. In vast majority of it was the airports, few aircraft. There's this one interesting one that's like a jet, but it's got a very weird design. Yeah, there was some stuff, but nothing like really major, I guess. No, nothing like massively game-changing, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Okay, tomorrow, Spitfire Saturday, and of course we have our run to the mock loop. Tomorrow's Spitfire Saturday is the last Spitfire Saturday of the year. So we will do that on the 1st of January. 2022 will be our first one of the year. And so I just got to find kind of plan that out a little bit. And then for our Scenic Sunday, we'll plan that one out as well. Since Sundays in Rio is the last one of the year as well. We're doing Spitfire Saturday, hopping over in the MB339, little Italian trainer slash aerobatic jet from Italy. I think I said that already. And then we'll run through the mock loop a couple times with that. And then we'll have we'll hop over the F-15 over in China Lake, run through the Star Wars Canyon a couple times, and then we'll call it a day. So you get a double dose of heart-stopping action. Well, triple dose, actually, if you think about it, I guess that way. Nice, leisurely climb up here to 8,000 feet. Not in a hurry. I believe we took off from either North Carolina, maybe Virginia. Let's have a look. Oh, Cape Fear Regional. North Carolina. Okay, Cape Fear Regional Jetport. O.E. Franklin Field Airport. Cape Fear. Interesting. Hello, Axel. Congratulations, Axel, because you are the first in the chat today. You are my officially unofficial co-pilot for the flight. Congratulations. Okay, we need to reduce our climb because we are starting to stall. We're in danger of stalling. So that is how my channel works. Whoever is the first one in the chat, you are the co-pilot. Not that you have to do anything, so don't worry. Why is this thing like zigzag? It's doing this weird. It's kind of strange. You're welcome. That's how it works. So you're the first one to say anything. So that's the honor I have bestowed on people so far. So it's all you. I try to do that to encourage people to speak up as soon as they're able to. Just, so.
172 SB01, contact Jacksonville Center on 128.7. Good day.
Going to 128.7, 172 SB01. Jacksonville Center, 172 SB01, 8,000 feet.
172 SB01 Jacksonville Center altimeter 29.902, continue as planned.
Right. Yeah. We are on our way. We just need to kind of slow down. I don't know if this has a setting for speed. We'll have to monitor that. And get off the throttle just a bit here, just so that we don't go too fast. Smart Gamer, I have flown a 737 before. The problem is here on the Xbox, the startup procedure can be a bit tricky, but we will be flying it. Let's see, I know it's not this week, but next week, I think. And I have a flight plan, so before you ask, I do have a flight plan for it. So that will be on the... I know I wrote it down. There it is. The 28th of December. We are going from Bogota to Caraco. There we are. Yes, we are able to fly it. It's just that the startup is a bit tricky on the Xbox. So, but I do have. We've done it before. It's just I've been kind of staring away from it because it's the way it's designed and all that is a bit suspect sometimes. So, but there we are. We will fly it on the 28th of December. If your other question is, can I fly it manually? No, I am not going to attempt to fly a jetliner manually. That is way too much headache to deal with. So, nope. I prefer to use all the systems available and all that. So, but I have flown it before. I'm not sure when the last time was that I did it. I think it was sometime in November. But if you go through all my videos, it should say, if you look at the description, what plane it was. So I've tried to include all that information in the title as best as possible, so that if you're looking for a particular region or a particular plane, should be fairly easy to find. Have I ever flown a 787? I did once, a long time ago, after I believe it was released. I took it from San Francisco to Seattle, but I don't know that we ever really landed it. Or maybe the game crashed. Something happened, I think, on that flight. But anyway, I did, because I didn't really do my research where I tried to understand those sorts of planes a little bit better. We will fly it on the 31st. We're going from Heathrow to JFK in the 787. That's going to be a long flight. That's going to be on New Year's Eve. So it's going to be certainly daytime when we take off from Heathrow. It'll be probably about noon or 1 o'clock by the time we land here, or land at JFK. So I will looking forward to that. So yeah, I think the other long haul that I had for the year on the 29th, I think that one is going to be canceled. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it back. Yeah, well, I could do it, but we might be able to do it. I'll try to do that one still. We're doing the freight from Miami to Guatemala. So, yeah. Well, from what I understand, because that was an issue for quite a while on the Xbox, it's a limitation somehow with the Xbox itself. I'm not quite sure how that is, but that's what my understanding was, and I could be wrong, but as far as I know, that's what's happened. Now, if you have the rolling cache and you set it for about 4 gigabytes, that should solve, on the Xbox at least. Now, I don't know about the PC side of things, because that's, there's way more systems involved. But on the Xbox, I can say for sure that I've had that 4 gigabyte rolling cache, and so far nothing has shut down on me or the game hasn't crashed. So I think they've, for all intents and purposes, have fixed the crashes, but that could also change with any updates and all that. So there we go. Yeah, I've heard that's an issue as well, Axel. So anyway. admin note, I guess, in a way. So a lot of the flights coming up, with the exception of our Scenic Sunday and Spitfire Saturday, so there's an achievement. You have to do at least a 300 mile, not nautical mile, but 300 actual statute miles in the standard edition planes. So we are working towards that. That's our goal, to get those done as much as we can before the end of the year. There'll be a few that I'm going to have to do. I might just do them off stream, because some of the planes, it's just very slow. I mean, this isn't super fast, but it's, you know, we're just kind of plugging along here. So that's oh, well, I mean, the thing is, Axel, and I'm guessing you're talking on Microsoft Flight Simulator, or I'm not sure which one. It's easy to only limit yourself in either a plane, or just you're flying back and forth. You know, you're always going to the same place. I used to do that when I first started. Part of it was because I was getting used to how everything worked, and, you know, of course, learning from the mistakes and doing some research, or, you know, just trying to figure out what could I do better. So my advice is, even if it's a bit difficult, I would encourage you to go beyond what you've been doing already, only because that way you have you can learn more and get, you know, fly further or fly to different places and become more comfortable with you know, as much as possible. So don't limit yourself, you know, step outside of that and continue to, because otherwise you don't really learn anything from that. And that doesn't really serve any purpose. You know, it'd be easy for me to say, well, I'm only flying in America, but there's the whole world, and there's lots of different places and lots of different things and capabilities, and, you know, short little dirt runways over in Burma on these mountainsides. You know, there's the airport at Lukla, right there near the Mount Everest. And you have to come in on this really crazy angle, and you land and you're going uphill, and you take off, and you go zipping down the hill, and you try to gain altitude. So don't just limit yourself. Keep trying, try different things. Just commit yourself to say, okay, today I'm going to try from here to here, and I'm going to try a different plane and see how that goes. You know, don't just get too comfortable with one thing, because you're missing everything else. You know, there's aircraft we haven't even been in yet that eventually we will do a flight in, because if it's there, why not fly it? Now, if it's unable to be flown, in some cases we find out the hard way that's what it is, then yeah, we won't do it. But I try it before I stream it. I try to test it, get familiar with it, understand how it works, and all that. So yeah, don't limit yourself, because you're gonna miss out on a lot of fun stuff. Doesn't mean you have to buy all the any plane or download. Yeah, you might get free stuff from Asobo, but doesn't mean but if you get it, just try it. These wind noises are just insanely loud. Maybe at 8,000 feet they are that loud.
Contact Washington Center on 118.475. Good day.
118.475 for 172 SB01. Washington Center 172 SB01, 8,000 feet.
172 SB01 Washington Center altimeter 29.902, continue as planned.
One of the other things too, like my mod Mick, who I'm not sure where he is right now, but anyway, when I started off with the Cessna 152 because that's what you learn the game in, and so I figured, okay, I'm going to stick with this until I feel comfortable, and then it was like, all right, well, I'm going to try, and then I went to the Dare TBM 930, and then I went to this plane, the 172 with the Garmin. Not that I understood how to use everything, but and then at some point he says, "When are you going to do the jetliner stuff?" And I said, "Well, I don't feel like I'm 100% ready to make that step, but pretty soon I will." I said I just want to feel more comfortable, because trying to do this on a controller is probably way different than if I have the flight stick and the pedals and everything like that. So even though it's fun to fly in a jet, whether it's the jetliner or military jet, it's nice to just fly in something like this. It's a bit slow, we're just kind of cruising along here. And some people would say, well, this is kind of boring. Well, but if you get used to only flying certain things, and then you decide, and you don't even remember half the stuff, it's easy to forget all the particulars. So yeah, don't limit yourself if you can. If you've got a bunch of planes, just one day say, I'm going to hop in here, if you're a little prop plane, I'm going to go from here to here. And you don't even have to, no autopilot, just take off, climb up, and trim the plane out. And there you go. It'll all work out. You just have to keep working at it, I guess, is the way I look at it. We also have this, we got this nice sunrise behind us. The sun's coming up behind us, and then certainly we'll be up by the time we get to our destination there. Just a small little plane, only 4 seats. Right on the side there, I think, let's see, over here, I think over this area, there is a small, can't really, yeah, you can kind of make it out. That's where you could put some luggage. I don't think there's a lot of space, but you could put some small bags for like a weekend trip or a couple, you know, something like that. It's very this is a very popular, like, general aviation plane. You know, if I had, certainly if I was a lot younger and had the time and everything and could get my license, I would certainly love to fly, you know, a plane like this and go away for a weekend somewhere. It doesn't have to be, well, obviously you can't go on a flight across the Atlantic or the Pacific. You would certainly run out of gas, but yeah, it's I guess if you had a float, if you had the floats and you could land near a ship that had gas for you, I guess that would work. So I do think they have a floater version of this one. There's like, I know they have the one with the skis. I think there is a floater version of this. That instead of the wheels, it has the 2 long floats, one on each side. That's one of the things I think next year we're going to get into doing, is doing flights around, you know, take off and land on the water. Hello, Amela, how are you? You caught me just as I was getting ready to take a drink of my coffee when you popped it and said hello, so I had to unmute myself and say hello before I could continue drinking coffee. Hope you are well. We're just plugging along here to our Bristol-Johnson airport there in the distance. Got the nice sunrise behind us. I think we can go ahead and turn off the floodlights. We don't need those anymore. The sun is coming up and we can see pretty much everywhere we need to see. I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm doing good. Doing good. Just do this flight. We'll wrap this up and then we'll call it a day. We'll be back tomorrow in the Spitfire. And
172 SB 01, contact Washington Center on 135.2. Good day.
Going to 135.2 172 SB01. Washington Center 172 SB01, 8,000 feet. 172 SB01, Washington Center altimeter 29.9 continue as planned.
so tomorrow we're flying out of Matoka to South Boston. We'll be in the United States in the Spitfire. Should be a nice little flight. And then we'll go make a couple runs through the Mach Loop, and then we will go to the quote as its unofficial name. Its official name is the Rainbow Canyon, but it's also known as the Star Wars Canyon. We'll make a couple runs through in the F-15. Yeah. And then we'll wrap up our fun for Saturday. Sunday we'll be on the farm first, and then we'll go flying around Rio de Janeiro. I've got a nice little fun plane for that. I won't say what it is. It'll be a bit of a surprise. And here we go. So I'm guessing you're working from home again today, Amela? Oh, that's a well-lit runway. You can see that all the way up from here at 8,000 feet. Look at that. Hey. That's nice. I don't know. See, like I kind of feel like if I had to work from home, I know it, you gotta, there's things you gotta do, but at the same time, it's like I'd be too what's the word, distracted by other things. I'd be at my computer and I'd be like, oh, there's the Xbox. Oh, I really want to play the Xbox instead. Like, okay, I'll just take a little break and I'll get back to this project later. Yeah, no. Okay, so it says spin recovery, opposite rudder, forward elevator, neutralize controls. Huh. Flight into known icing conditions prohibited. This airplane is certified for the following flight operations as of date of original airworthiness certification. Day, night, VFR, IFR. Interesting. I don't know, Amela. I am assuming so, yes, but I don't know what, I don't know really what's happening. I hope he's okay. I would assume that he is, but I don't know what all is really happening. Yeah. Because I haven't seen him in the Discord either recently. See, I don't really know what's happening. Oh, I did pick up a new subscriber, I guess overnight. I got the email or the little reminder thing or whatever today. So, do appreciate the new subscriptions and all that. checking the, I'm not trying to ignore anybody, I'm just looking at the forums real quick to see if there's any, sort of issues that, anybody's having today. Just so that we're aware of any. I probably should have done that before I started flying. Anyways. Some people. Wow. Just trying to get an idea of what's happening. Alright, anyways. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with Nick. I'm going to try to message him later on and see. See if he responds. There we go, we got the sun behind us. I do know he wasn't in Pulse's stream last night. I popped into Pulse's stream a bit late. I kind of lost track of time. So, yeah, I don't know what's happening. Anyways, there we go, there's that. Right. Yeah, we are just making our way. We're getting there. We'll got a bit to go. You know, I noticed there's a lot of these little regional airports like this Laneburg, or Laurenburg, Maxton. Yeah, it looks like a little small regional airport, and you got you could see the runway lights there, it appears. The little blinking lights guiding you into a runway there. But there's a lot of these little farm strips as well. Again, I'm assuming that's all for crop dusting, or, you know, maybe even flying. Instead of driving into town, maybe you fly into town to get your groceries or something. You know, maybe if there's a small airport, a farm airport there, and they fly over here to do their grocery shopping or something. I don't know. I mean, I guess it would be quicker than driving. I don't know if it's cheaper, but man, that is a That's a nice looking little airport right there. I think one of the things I want to do in the new year, instead of going from like, I want to try to do more of these like little regional flights, and experience those, and do, you know, just find a little plane of some kind and do like a regional airport to a regional airport. It doesn't have to be very long. We can do like take off and land at one, and pull in, park, and then refile a flight plan sort of thing. And I think what we may do is kind of introduce the the part about the refueling. If we do like these little short regional flights, and, you know, hop from little airport to little airport, refuel, and then take off. And I have to figure out a way that we can. So let's say we go from where we took off, the KSUT, to our Bristol-Johnson, and we have like a little commuter, a little bit larger plane, something that is a bit faster, and all that, and we land, and then I just got to figure out how I can take off and put into the system that our next destination would be somewhere else, so that we do the refueling part, and kind of get that going in our capabilities, and knowing how all that works. So yeah, I think that would be a fun thing to do. That way we're not just like going from one point to, you know, maybe, you know, kind of like what we had with the there in the Greek Isles. They go from one airport, they land, unload passengers and cargo or whatever, take on passengers and cargo, and then they take off and go somewhere else. So there's that sense of a bit of that realism of the situation. It would certainly make for a longer stream, but I think it would be certainly more realistic, I guess, in a way. So yeah, I was really hoping the Bombardier regional jets were going to be released last night, but I guess they're still working on that. I'm hoping they get released soon. That would be nice to be able to add those to the repertoire. So yeah, that's almost 7:30. I almost forgot to update the description. I was getting ready to start everything up, and I was like, I haven't even updated the description yet. Well, at least the time is correct on here. That's the local time. Alright, we're just slowly plugging along here. Call Army Airfield. Mackle. Mackle, not McCall. Mackle. What? Is that a... What base is that attached to? Camp McCall. Richmond County, Northern Scotland County, North Carolina. Oh, okay. Associated with Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Oh, okay. Now I know what. Okay. Got it. Shan't say another word. Very interesting. I didn't know that was associated with Fort Bragg, North Kakalaki. Very interesting. Yeah. Appreciate the 3 thumbs up, folks. Very kind of you. I wonder if you can get these seats heated. Got a little storage spot for your charts and other stuff there. Checklists and all that. It's weird that it's kind of hidden by the yoke. Like you'd have to reach under there to engage or disengage the parking brake, and it's only on that one side by the pilot. But I guess that's to be expected. I really wish we'd get some more liveries for this plane, because what they have on offer is just ugh. The only quote-unquote airline that they have, or anything that's airline related, is a Kenmore sort of thing. So anyway, yeah. Something real quick. All right. Plugging along here. Any other way to describe it? But that's what we're doing, it seems. We're just plugging along. Hopefully everybody's having a good Thursday. Oh, it's Friday. Well, why am I saying Thursday? Good Friday. Happy Friday. I don't know why I thought it was Thursday. Losing it. Is there a range thing on this? Zoom out here a little bit. All right, so you'll see this is our point that we're going to right now. And then we're going to start turning left. Hey there. I have not, Todd. Well, first off, are you on the PC or are you on the Xbox? Because I've not had the issue. I think in the forums they have taught, there's some people that have that, but it's like an intermittent sort of issue, it seems. So I don't really know what to tell you other than I can post a link. A PC, yeah. Then I don't know what to tell you because I'm on the Xbox there. But if you hold on a second. My advice to you is to go here to the forums and put in like a trouble ticket or see if anybody else is having the same issue. If you go in there and you use you'll sign up for like an account that you create or whatever. I would go there because that's usually where the sort of what do you call it? The That's the subject matter experts are right there. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, but for PC, I couldn't tell you what the issue might be. But I would try there because that's usually the best place to go. So especially if you're new, I would get involved in the forums, and because certainly on the PC side, there's a lot of people who have way more knowledge than I do about that side of the sim. So hopefully that helps. From my understanding, there's like a whole knowledge base. I didn't have any issues when I loaded up today, so again, it seems to me, Todd, that it seems like a lot of that stuff is hit and miss. There's PC players who are like, I logged in, there was no issue, and then others like you that have the problem. So it's not. That's the weird thing about whenever there's a problem like that. It doesn't affect everybody generally. It's like it affects a certain percentage of the players, and other people are like, I got in just fine. Now, taking them at their word that they logged in and were able to get everything started up and there was no issues. But you're welcome, Todd. Good luck. Hopefully that helps you. Glad to try to help out in some way if I can. It seems like there's more writing above and below the compass, and I don't know what it is, and I can't zoom in enough to see it, I don't think. See if we can do it. Nope, it's not going to let us do it. Oh well. Got 5 viewers all of a sudden. Thank you all for coming in. I saw an airport. I saw the lights there just in the distance. I thought. In the close distance, I should say, not like way off, but it seemed like there's an airport off the right wingtip there. I thought I saw the runway lights, or the blinking lights at the end there, but I could be wrong. Oh wait, maybe over there at Jordan Field. I did see him faintly move across the ground.
172 SB01,
yep.
Contact Atlanta Center on 133.15.
Wow, Atlanta Center's reaching all the way up here?
Going to
Goodness gracious.
172 SB01. Atlanta Center 172 SB01, 8,000 feet.
172 SB01 Atlanta Center altimeter 29.9 continue as planned.
Alright, I am going to step away for just a moment. I will be right back. Gotta love autopilot. All right. Although certainly in a plane like this, if you had to use the restroom or anything, you were kind of you're out of luck. Should have gone before we left. Should have packed snacks and drinks. There's no in-flight service here today. Thank you, Amela. Appreciate that. Oh, we had a few viewers. I guess they stuck around long enough and they're like, this is boring. That's okay. I know flying in a little prop plane isn't sexy. It's not exciting. But we're flying, that's what counts. No aerobatic maneuvers, including spins, are approved. For the utility, no aerobatic maneuvers approved except those listed in the pilot's operating handbook. Baggage compartment and rear seat must not be occupied. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Cool stuff. Stanley County Airport. Looks like a decent sized little airport there. Yeah, it's not too bad size, it doesn't look like. Yeah. Captain Arish is rating with a party of 31. Oh, well, thank you, Captain Arish. Appreciate that. Welcome over on Twitch. I don't see all 31 of you. I just see one viewer, but it's all good. I do appreciate that, though. Hopefully you're having a good day. Not quite sure, and pardon my ignorance of how the rating party thing works. I don't know what all that entails, but I am happy to have you here either way. So we are on our way to Bristol-Johnson there in the distance. We are flying IFR, and we are making our way slowly but surely. So once we get to the marker there, we'll hang a left, should start descending for our nav approach into Bristol-Johnson. So once we are cleared to land, we'll go ahead and turn off the autopilot, and everything will hand fly it in, have a nice little landing. Knock on wood, even fake wood. I think that's the first time I've ever had a stream raid. Very cool. First time, so I greatly appreciate that. We'll have a little look outside here. We turned off the weather because we're only flying here at 8,000 feet, so I figured it'd just be nice to have a nice morning flight without any weather drama. Well, thank you, Captain Arish, for the follow. Jamal, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Can't send messages in chat. It says we need to be a follower. Oh, yes. Yeah. That's, yeah. I put that there just because I've had some new people show up, Captain Arish, who've gotten a little silly in the chat there. So I just put that limitation for, but I am glad you followed. I hope you enjoy watching the stream, and I appreciate the couple additional followers, you and Jamal. So yeah, thank you, greatly appreciate that. But I just saw your whisper there, Captain Arish. So so thank you. Greatly appreciate that. We do try to fly daily, try to fly different things. We tomorrow we'll be in the Spitfire. We'll be flying here in America in the Spitfire, and then we are going to take the MB339 through the Mach Loop, and then we're going to take the F-15 through the Star Wars Canyon and have some fun with that. And then Sunday is our scenic Sunday. It'll be the last one of 2021. We're going to be flying around Rio de Janeiro. So I'm not an affiliate or to the point that my videos stay on YouTube or on Twitch for very long, but hopefully you will enjoy seeing those. If you're here live or watching them on the replay, greatly appreciate it. Ooh, 20 viewers. Wow, that is probably the most I have ever had in Twitch. Thank you all. Greatly appreciate that. You're making my day. Very kind of you. I don't know what to say. That is by far the most I've ever had. So, thank you. So, just to kind of reiterate, I think it's in the description, but we're on our way to Bristol-Johnson there. And we should, once we get there, we'll start, I believe, start our descending and getting ready to land our nav on runway 05. We'll, once we get the clearance, we'll hand fly that in. Although there is an ILS approach there, but we'll go ahead and just do it ourselves. See how we get along with it. Gold Hill. I don't know if it's like a small airport or if that's a farm airport. Huh. Oh, FSP. Well, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Try to keep an eye on the activity feed there and recognize you if you follow. Let's see, where's our range thing? Kind of get it. Oops. Basically, that's what we've got left right there. There we go. So, track there, and then we'll track again. There's our RNAV approach. So we're almost there. Oh, Darkness Night, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. I can assure you I am by no means an expert at this simulator. I just try to do the best I can, try to make it entertaining, and in some cases, when we do our scenic tours on Sundays, try to make it a bit educational and fun, and try to learn all the particulars. And even though I'm on the Xbox and only have the capabilities of on that system, so I'm limited in planes and liveries for sure. So yeah, try to make it as fun as possible. miles. That's what I want. Dogwood Acres, huh? Granite Quarry. Interesting name for a town. Rolling County Airport. I wonder what the other one there is, just right there. Bradley Field. Tara Air Base. Huh.
SB 01 climb and maintain 8,500 feet.
Climb and maintain 8,500 feet, 172 SB01.
That's an interesting quest. Rather unexpected. I think because there is an airport, it seemed like saw some kind of a, well, maybe because Rowan County, maybe they.
172 SB 01, please expedite your climb, 8,500 feet.
Well, I can't go too fast because otherwise we'll be in danger of stalling. We don't want to stall the plane, that's for sure. Was not expecting that. Very interesting.
SB01, contact Atlanta Center on 125.15. Good day.
125.15 172 SB01. Atlanta Center 172 SB01, 8,500 feet. 172 SB01 Atlanta Center altimeter 29.9 2, continue to Mobi as planned.
Now, the interesting thing is I can't request that reduction back to 8,000. I'd only go to 7,500, you know. So, which is fine. We're almost at the end here. Eight o'clock already. Goodness. Time is flying. Skip, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. All right. Well, we took off from up there. It's Cape Fear, Oak Island in North Carolina, just before the sun came up. Now we're sun's well up, kind of. Yeah. Do appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out today. Here on Friday. Only 2 more Fridays left in the year. Hard to imagine that. Captain Erish, if you could tell your party there, I greatly appreciate everybody coming in, truly. Matter of fact, even better. I'll just do this. Yeah, for I know Captain Erish and I think even Skip asked. So yeah, I had some problems recently with some viewers. Yeah. I just figured that would be a reasonable amount of time, you know, to kind of discourage any sort of silliness. You know, if people are serious and want to, you know, be interactive in a positive way, I'm more than happy to have them in the chat. But yeah, so, but I do appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out watching. So I need to change my batteries real quick. I will be right back. Right, there we are. So yeah, I just had to put some rules in place and enact some things just to try to get things back under control, so to speak. So, but I do honestly it's really awesome, you guys, the raid party. Yeah, really cool of you. That was completely unexpected today. So yeah, quite a surprise. I would not have thought that would have been possible or that would have happened today. So thank you. I do appreciate picking up a few more followers along the way. Very kind of you. That puts me over the 50 mark. So we were hovering below 50, I think, for some time now, but now that definitely has pushed me over the 50 mark, I think. So yeah, very cool. And if you want, you could always send me a quick message there on the whisper, I guess. I'll try to answer as quickly as I can. You know, as long as doesn't take away from my focus of keeping an eye on things. So thank you. Look at that. Make sure there wasn't any other. All right. As I like to say in my other friends' chat there, Linda, cheers. You've been reported. So, thank you for the effort. No, Skip, I mainly fly, and I do understand what you're saying, and you know, I may change it eventually, but I try to be a bit, you know, I try to say in the title and all that what's going on. I try to fly a little bit of everything. I fly general aviation whenever I can. I try to fly the jetliners. We've been encountering a problem recently, and I don't know if it has to do with the beta going on for the upcoming sim update, but I've had a lot of what I consider to be glitched arrivals and approach, you know, like more the arrival than the approach. So I just try to make do with it as best as I can, and try to have a good flight. There's just something sometimes it seems that why it's happening, there's not a much of a there's no clear explanation why. So I do try to fly different stuff and all that. But yeah, I may revisit that policy about the 7 days, and you're right, it does make it harder for people to get to know me a little bit better. It's just it was, I guess, a reactionary thing on my part that, you know, there was some people who came in and were just being a bit obnoxious, and I tried to ask them, you know, directly to not do what they were doing, and they refused to listen. So, or thought that I was being unreasonable. Yeah. So, yeah, I try to fly a little bit of everything as much as possible. Hopefully that answers your question. So, yeah, the field where we're landing at, the runway's at almost 1,500 feet. So we won't have much to worry about as far as we won't have much of a descent, I guess. And, well, we will kind of, but I think we are well set up for for everything. So, yeah, I try to fly a little bit of everything. I don't want to just stick with the jetliners, or, you know, I try to get a little bit of different stuff whenever possible. But I also, like, because there's been, you know, you see a new plane, you're like, oh, this is going to be the greatest thing, and then you know, download it and add it in, and then you start to, you know, like I try to do that if there seems to be something that seems it's going to be a very awesome sort of plane to add into our repertoire, as I like to call it. But you never know what you're going to get. In some ways, everything works fairly well, and other times it's like nothing works. And so yeah, it's hit and miss, unfortunately. Sure does. So yeah, I just try to do a little bit of everything, and I do appreciate the interaction, though, honestly. It's just that lately it seems there's been a lot of people who come in and just act up, for lack of a better term, and don't seem to respect the chat and the streamer. But I do hope you and everybody involved in the party, the 11 viewers, it was up to 20, and I still appreciate the 11 viewers sticking around. I do hope you follow and come back and continue to enjoy watching and then interact in a positive way with me, and I will interact positively with you, and it'll be great. I think those are all reasonable things. I hope for reasonable things in unreasonable times. Even though sometimes I may be a bit unreasonable myself, but nobody's perfect. Try to do the best we can. Try to bring a little bit of joy and fun to people. That's what I hope to do. So, yeah. I'm on I just use a controller. I'm on the Xbox Series S, Skip. I should probably put that in there, you're right, and I will put that on my to-do list today after I go shopping, get a few groceries. But yeah, I'm on an Xbox Series S, and I just use the controller. I would like to get a throttle and yoke and all that kind of stuff, but one of the things that I see a lot of times that people set everything up, they map their buttons, and then whenever there's an update or something, all that gets deleted, and they have to kind of start from scratch, and they've got everything kind of where they want it, and they end up having to start all over again, and they don't make notes of what they've done to make it all work. So yeah, I would like to do that, but I just use the Xbox Series S controller and do the best I can with that. It can be a bit daunting at times, especially when you're landing. It's easy to overcorrect, or you're like all over the place, especially when you're landing if you're not using a guided approach. So I just try to do the best I can with it. Had some crashes, nose over a lot of times and or nose in on the Spitfire. So we just try to learn from it and do better the next time. So yeah, I should put. I will add that. Thank you for pointing that out, Skip. Appreciate that. But on Sundays, before we do our scenic flights, I do stream on Farm Sim 19. Have a bit of fun with that. Just plow some fields and plant some stuff and all that kind of stuff. Just nice, relaxing Sunday sort of thing. So. Yeah, try to have as much fun as we can. That's the goal. I have some. The one that really kind of didn't sit well with me, Skip, was the King Air C90. Because I'd been flying the 350i for a while, and then so I thought, well, this would be a step up because it's more, I guess, a little bit more modern version of the 350i, and nothing worked. Like none of the buttons work. You can't, like if you go to the altitude select, it doesn't come up with that little pop-up window to show you. It's like you have to you're looking in like right here. And you're trying to look at that, and but the autopilot doesn't work, nav doesn't work, nothing works. And I was hoping that by now that the developer of it, I don't know quite off the top of my head who it is, or if it's a one person or a small company or whatever, since it's been released, there's been no updates. Now, I don't know if that's because they're trying to figure out how to make everything work with the new updates that have been coming out, and that's possible. But I tried to look to see if they have a website that they may have some information. Nothing there. So I uninstalled it and just, but because it's been so long, I don't think I would get a refund. But I'm hoping that whoever is the developer for it fixes it, releases an update, and it's actually usable. Because it seemed like it would be a fun plane to fly, but it's hard to know when or if that will ever happen. That's the unfortunate side. But on average, most stuff seems to work. I try to test it out before I stream it just to see what issues there might be, and then kind of get a feel for, is there a workaround? Is there something I can do to make it work? But I think a lot of times people don't even go that far to find a workaround. They give up and they say, I'm not even going to make an attempt to do all that. Yeah. So, but I mean, it is what it is. I think it's hit and miss, and I see in the forums a lot of people are kind of, a bit angry about the marketplace and how stuff is getting released that doesn't seem like it's tested very well, or does it work once upon release, or it works and then like the Eurofighter worked, and then after I think Sim Update 7 there was a problem, or maybe it was 6, but Braddock basically had to remodel their plane and release an update in order, because otherwise if you tried to fly it, if you were on the tarmac or anywhere, it would automatically crash the game. And so they said, oh yeah, there's a problem, we're working on a fix. So within a reasonable amount of time, they got it done, which I was expecting that it would take months for them to do, and it only took them maybe 2.5 weeks to solve the problem, I think. And I think that was back in November, maybe about mid-November or something. I can't remember when, but yeah, so they did fix that. But yeah, whoever does the C90 hasn't, I kind of feel like they just gave up on it. They got their money and then they said, I'm not going to be bothered with fixing it. But I could be wrong. I don't know really what other sort of explanation there could possibly be, but yeah. But it just feels like they just gave up. Alright, we are soon going to start descending into the airport here. So I apologize in advance if I don't get to questions or comments. The updates. So basically, like yesterday.
172 SB01 descend and maintain 8,000 feet. Descend and maintain 8,000 feet. 172 SB01.
What happened was, you have to wait for. It's like it shows up in the marketplace, right? That there's a update for a particular aircraft or airport, right? And then you have to go to the content manager and download the update. And so, that's how they do it. And then it's not like you have to do it outside of the Xbox and then go into the game and download it again. It's just, it's there, So, that's how that works. And I think it says 6,900. Yeah. Let's see if we can request a reduction in altitude. So we'll just go to 7,000 feet.
Atlanta Center 172 SB01. Request 7,000 feet. 172 SB01 descend and maintain 7,000 feet. Descend and maintain 7,000 feet 172 SB01.
So yeah, so that's the only way that we can get our updates. There's no other way to do it. And it's, the other thing too is you know, on Thursdays, when I was looking in the forums last night, people were kind of chomping at the bit, like, okay, when's the marketplace going to be updated? What are we getting? There's no, it's kind of like it's a surprise. Like, surprise, this is what you're getting, and it's like, oh, it was more airports obviously than planes. I think there was only 2 planes that were released yesterday, but there's a ton of airports. The Embraer EMB 110 was one of the planes in that little, there's like this crazy looking little jet plane, or the only 2 that were released yesterday. But yeah, it's all kind of, you just don't know what you're going to get until sometime. I think it was about 7 o'clock East Coast time is when it populated in. And it's, again, you just don't know what you're getting until it's there. Yeah. Yeah, so like some of the planes that have been released already on the PC side, the PC side gets it first, and then it's like about, it could be anywhere from a couple weeks to maybe a couple months. It's hit and miss when we get stuff and how long will it be. But generally, my understanding is that, because I keep an eye on the website, Microsoft add-ons, and they always have, oh, this is being released, and it's like, okay, but it's not. And I get excited, and I log in, and it's like, okay, there's something new there, and then I log in, and there's nothing there, and it's like, oh, it's only for the PC. So like, there's just a lot of stuff on the PC that there's no telling when we're going to get it on the Xbox. Unfortunately, there's no time frame, I think, or they don't want to say, okay, it'll be within 2 months, and then it goes to 4 months or something, for instance. So yeah, it's just a bit difficult. So it is a bit frustrating, because it'd be nice to have, like, I'm really looking forward to the Bombardier regional jets coming to the Xbox, because the Embraer ones seems to be a bit wonky right now, and hopefully there'll be some updates that will improve things a bit more, but it's hard to say. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah, I've heard about the Kodiak 100, and I know that's one of the things that is one of the most anticipated, I guess, new planes. But yeah, I'm guessing it would probably be sometime in the afternoon or evening time. It's just, you never know when it's going to hit, and I don't know how it's they removed your likes and dislikes. Well, that's on YouTube. That's up to them. It has nothing. I have no control over that. I think they were doing it to discourage from people from just coming in and disliking something just because they could, not for, like, they just wanted to do it to cause the streamer to become upset about it. If you you don't like my content, well, then I don't really know what to tell you. You know, I just try to do the best I can. But you came in and watched it anyway, so yeah. So yeah, that's all. That's YouTube made that decision, I think, recently to change all that. Civ Ryan. So yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Well, I was going to get the DC6 skip on here, and before I could, that's when they discovered the issue, and then like within a short amount of time it was already gone from the marketplace. So I was looking forward to it. I was kind of already reading up on it and all the things that you would have to do to get it going and all that. I still think it will be interesting, hopefully, within reason, of course, on the Xbox. Should be a good time, I think. I'm looking forward to getting it. Yeah. And I see pictures of it. People on PC who are flying it, they're having a good time with it, it seems, and that's great. It does add a little salt to the wound for the Xbox players that they were really excited about getting it, and then they just kind of like, yeah, nope. But I understand the reason why PMDG pulled it. I think they were facing a lot of backlash, and how could this be in the marketplace when it doesn't work? So I think they contacted Microsoft and said, please pull it so we'll put it, obviously they'll put it back on at the point where it works again. So yeah, I don't know. I have the Honeycomb Alpha and Bravo. That's a ton of buttons, and still I need to flip switches like hell with the mouse to make that. Yeah, that's what I kind of figured would be the case. But it is an amazing looking plane. Between that and the Constellation, I think those are just, it's that era of aviation that is, kind of gone. And I think people were looking forward to having that, getting the grips with it, and, understanding it, and, having some fun, and now it's just kind of like it doesn't, there's no telling when. And I know PMDG can't tell because they're waiting on answers from Asobo/Microsoft and how can they fix the problem. And there doesn't seem to be any easy answers yet on what they need to do. So it's sad, but hopefully they get it figured out and it gets returned to the marketplace, and it'll be a really cool thing to be able to fly. So yeah, I can imagine. I think I've still got the documentation. Like, they had this huge manual on everything. So I thought, well, at least I have that. I can look that over and kind of, get an idea of what to expect. So that does help, that they put that out there. Because a lot of times there's things that happen and you're just like, it doesn't make any sense. And, how do you solve this problem, or what do you got to do to make something work? And there's never any really easy sort of workaround, I guess. So anyway, but there is the flight engineer, and I think that's what many console players were probably going to utilize. 300. The manual, 300 pages easily on there. Yeah, it's insane, but it's I think certainly it's worth the effort to learn all the particulars and really have a good feel for what the plane can do and when to do everything. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to that eventually. If it takes into next, and obviously it's going to take into next year, then so be it. I'd rather that they take the time and work out all the particulars and try to get things fixed as much as possible, and have a good understanding of things and all that. So yeah. All right. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I would agree with you. Yeah, you would have to use the auto flight engineer to monitor everything. Otherwise, it would just be too much of a. I think even if you have the flight stick and everything, it would be a bit much to handle. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, they get it fixed. They return it to the marketplace, and it'll be a big hit, and everybody will enjoy it. And, oh, look at this nice mountainy area we're flying through. Oh, very nice. Of course, it helps that we have the weather turned off and we have this nice scenery here to enjoy. Then again, Xbox does support. It does. That was something I've considered getting as well, but part of it is a space issue. You know, if I'm going to go that route, I might as well just get a full-blown PC. You know, I don't have a, it's, you know, because that's something, you know, keyboard and mouse and all that, you might as well have a desk, you know. So it's very, yeah, it's kind of difficult to figure out how I would make all that work and where I would put it, you know, and all that. So,
172 SB01, contact Atlanta Center on 127.85.
I'm hoping in 2022 I can actually make that happen, Skip.
Atlanta Center 172 SB01, 7,000 feet.
172 SB01 Atlanta Center altimeter 29.9 to continue to stain as planned.
Continue to stain as planned. Okay. Yeah, I'm hoping in the new year I can make that happen. It would be like right away in January, but at some point I would like to get a PC. But I hear that even the PC side isn't as stable as, you know, it has its own issues. And part of it is getting the settings done correctly, and, you know, like there's a whole bunch of other things that seem to have to take place in order for the sim to run relatively smooth. But the good thing is you guys get the
172 SB01, you are 30 miles east.
Why would I
Climb
turn?
and maintain 8,000 feet. Expect RNAV runway 5 approach via Hosum transition. Cleared
That
to
doesn't make any
Hosum.
sense why I would go to 8,000, but okay.
Climb and maintain 8,000 feet. Expect RNAV runway 5 approach via Hosam transition. Cleared to Hosam 172 SB01.
Watch, I'll get right to 8,000, then they'll go like descend and maintain 3 whatever. Here we go with the crazy requests. Anyway. Yeah. But yeah, it's something I'm thinking about doing because it seems now, especially I think the DC-6 thing sort of raised the flag about the problems.
172 SB01 descent and maintain 5,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 5,000 feet. 172 SB01.
Stall.
Yeah, but it's that's the plan eventually. As soon as you start spending money on controllers, board RAM, yeah, that's the other thing too. So if I'm going to do it, I might as well try to get all that right away. And but yeah, it can be a very, that part of the hobby of simming can become very, very expensive. And next thing you know, you're spent thousands and thousands of dollars, you know, putting together a really good system. So yeah. Oh, Exiled, thank you for the follow. Just saw that. Exiled Elder, thank you. Appreciate that. Alright, well, we are finally descending. Even though we were told to go to 8,000, now we are on our way to 5,000 feet. Seemed kind of pointless to go to do all that, so anyway. I mean, I had a HOTAS set up, ordered rudder pedals, then went to pick the pedals and came home with the pedals and honeycomb yoke and throttle tri-spin. Yeah, well, luckily, well, I mean, I have a girlfriend, but you know, she, if I was doing all that, I think she would say, if that's what you want to do, I'll support you. But I think it would be, yeah, the cost of everything would become an issue, and I think that's where a lot of simmers run into. Especially if you're maybe on a fixed income, if you're like retired or something, you know, it's kind of like you just have to get it one piece at a time. Because if you try to get it all at once, you're going to be broke very quickly. So, yeah, I technically don't have a missus, although I have a girlfriend, and she, I think if, yeah. But no, she, you know, she knows that I do this, and, you know, she said if you're happy with that, then enjoy it. But yeah, it can be a point of issue in a relationship, in a marriage, I think, because it's easy to get, you know, so, you know, I think with any hobby. Yeah, it's easy to get kind of caught up in it, and you think, oh, but I need this, and it's not so much that you need it, you think you do, because that's what the forums might say is the, you know, you got to get this and everything will be so much better, and then you're like, well, I don't know, you know. So 700 pounds spent on controllers, and wow, that's like $1,500-$1,600 here easily. Wow, that's crazy. But you know, it's all to make, you're trying to make things as realistic as possible and have fun with it. And you know, I see a lot of, especially on the PC side, a lot of people join in on those community flights and all that, and you want, of course, to be able to, yeah, software, yeah. And see, that's another thing too, is all that stuff, it starts to add up. And, you know, you want, of course, all the fancy new planes and the and all that. And it's very difficult to keep up with all that. So, all right. We're just going to fly over these mountains, and we'll turn eventually to that marker there, which is AYAB. So we will eventually turn that way. And then we will line up for our approach. Still have the game on Xbox Game Pass. I bought all this stuff, and I haven't even bought a copy of the... Oh, man. You're glutton for punishment, aren't you there? Skip. But, well, I guess some people, I think they've looked at all the, done their homework, so to speak, to figure out what might work, what might not, and how, just kind of putting things together a bit at a time, and goes off the Game Pass. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's only the standard editions available on Game Pass. Everything else is for sale. It's only the standard they put on the Game Pass. I think just to get people, like, hey, you can try this out, and if you like it, then you could upgrade to the higher editions. Yeah. I'm not sure how that all works, though, on the PC. I'm guessing it's somewhat similar. I don't know. So, all right. Let's have a look ahead. All right. So that's what we got left to do. Let's just have a quick. Oops. So that's at 50 nautical miles. Obviously, that might be a bit too far. Five, 20, 15, 10. There we go. Perfect. All right, so that's what we got left. And we will put this thing on the ground. Standard has more than enough. It's only more planes on other versions, and to be honest, Asobo planes lack so much in detail. Yeah. Well, here on the Xbox, it's not only that they lack detail, they lack liveries and stuff like that. And of course, Braddock released they came up with 4 liveries for the Asobo A320, and then everybody's like, well, it's crap, but it's like, well, if we don't use, if we want to have something other than what the fake stuff that Asobo put in there, then that's our only option, And some people were like, why would anybody spend it? It was only like $5, I think. Why would anybody spend $5? Like, well, if Asobo's doesn't seem like they have the ability to create it and release it as just an update. Yeah. So yeah, but on the PC side, yeah, there's people release their own version of liveries, and either they do it for free, but you don't know what you're really getting for free. It may look okay, but on closer inspection, it's kind of like, So anyway, all right. Just a quick heads up, and I'm not trying to be unappreciative, but as soon as we start lining up, I'm going to probably just kind of keep an eyes away from the chat while I prepare to land. Yeah, I kind of figured it was going to be a lot of space for that plane because there's a lot to it. So, yeah, point well taken, Skip. So, but I do. It's great to have this interaction with you, and I know it would be probably more convenient if it was just in the chat, but I do appreciate the 250K. Yeah, seeing you're going to need like a large external drive probably to hold all that. So, so yeah, we should start turning here soon. Yep, we're almost there. So, Alright, hopefully we're going to have a nice landing here momentarily. This has gone quite a bit of time, but not. There's hit and miss. I think sometimes it seems like it's gonna take longer, and it doesn't, and other times it seems like it's gonna go quicker, and it doesn't. But greatly appreciate everybody coming in today, hanging out, watching, interacting in a positive way. That's the key. And we will be back tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern, in the Spitfire. We'll have a nice little flight. Then we'll take the MB339 through the Mach Loop, and then the F-15 through the Star Wars Canyon. And we'll wrap that up. But again, Captain Arash, I think, I'm not sure. Arash. Try to pronounce your name correctly, and I apologize if I'm not. Do appreciate the raid party once again. Thank you. And thank you for everybody who came in with him and followed and stuck around and watched. Even if you didn't send a message or follow, it's all greatly appreciated. We should... Oh, you know what we'll do? We'll get our landing lights on. Why not? We'll just put our taxi lights on too. Even though it's light out, but I like to have a well-lit aircraft. That's the great thing. Try to have a well-lit aircraft, and wow, this looks like a fun place to fly a jet fighter or even a Spitfire through. Oof. Kinds of little valleys and such to zip through. Yeah, great day, and I appreciate everybody who made it. So appreciate the follows, appreciate you being here. It's been quite the adventure today, just plugging along here in the 172. Certainly not the most glamorous plane that we could fly, but it's fun. It's been fun. Other than the weird go to 8,500 and then go, I ask for 7,000 and then they're like, that's cool. And then they say, oh, go back up to 8,000. Head to 8,000. Nope, go down to 5,000. It's like I'm on a roller coaster or something, you know? So, no, it's not. It's not half bad. You know, certainly there's some areas, of course, that the photo geometry, or however it's called, is missing information, because but on average it does look pretty good. You know, I mean, that's pretty good detail. You see the roads, you see that little bridge, and you know, over that other road, and you know, there's some really good detail for sure. But we now I think, let me look real quick while I'm kind of looking ahead here. Okay, so we can't request any other reductions in altitude. So from here on out, we're at the whim of the ATC and all that. So we will, yeah, that stuff. Oh, that, yeah, photogrammetry, that, You know what I mean. Yeah, there's stuff that is missing. I did look at X-Plane 11, and some people, they're like, you know, they are fine with the limitations. I don't think I've ever looked at P3D. I would have to look to see how that looks, but I've heard that is way more in depth than Microsoft Flight Simulator. Like it's very X-Plane 12. I've heard about X-Plane 12. I don't think I've seen like any kind of videos with like gameplay, and of course that always looks better than what we get in the long run. So yeah, that's what I've heard, that you've got to really be on your ball with that one. You know, there's no, you know, turning off, like, you know, unlimited fuel and all that kind of stuff. It's like, you know, you've got to really be on your P's and Q's with P3D. Yes, I think I've heard that as well, Skip. I don't know all the particulars, but I think I have heard something very similar. So Telford overlooked Ferguson Field. Wow, that's a mouthful right there. I've got this nice scenery today. Mountain view. I guess that is some truth to that. There are kind of like mountains, and you have a view of them. Alright. I'm from Finland and only fly in sims. Yeah, I think I've heard people say, though, Skip, that is, I think they've been able to utilize that because it is pretty much
172 SB 01, you are 18 miles south of Tri-City. Contact tower on 119.5 when inbound on the approach.
Tower on 119.5,
yeah.
172 SB01.
Alright.
Tower 172 SB0118 miles south inbound RNAV runway 5 approach.
172 SB01 Tower. Altimeter 29.9 or 2 and 277 at 3. Cleared RNAV runway 5 approach.
Cleared RNAV runway 5 approach 172 SB01.
We had a marker there that had a lower altitude. That's interesting that disappeared. Now, I'm suspect of. Let's go ahead and start slowing down. Let's get our flaps, get a bit of flap action here. I think 20 is sufficient. So once we are lined up, then we can see where we're at. I feel like we're supposed to be a little bit lower in order to capture the glide slope. I think the marker there said 39 or 3,500. Check out. Oh yes, I do follow him on. Yes, I do follow him on Twitch. I know exactly who you're talking about, and I think I even am on his... I don't know, he doesn't have a Discord, but I do follow him on Twitch. I haven't watched him in a while, but yes, I do know exactly who you're talking about. And yes, he has a lot of knowledge and tends to answer a lot of questions for new simmers and all that. I think he was one of the first few people I found when I was trying to figure out a way to improve my sim flying as well. So, yep, I know exactly who you're talking about. Alright, we should turn again. Should be... I kind of feel like we're turning slightly, but not so much. It's like we're kind of just following along straight, but not. Alright, there we go. It's like it's taking its time on the turn, which is okay. Rather, I think we're going to be well above the glide slope. That's my biggest fear right now. Let's see, let's go ahead and go to, I think it was like, let's go to 3,500 feet and just be ready for that. So hopefully we set ourselves up, and if we can hit the approach mode and it locks in and brings us in, then all the better. So he has Discord. If you ever stream about 4 to 6 hours from now, we'll make him raid you. Oh, no, it won't be till tomorrow morning. I only do no, I've got an RNAV approach, but it does have an ILS on this end, Skip. But I figured I'd try the RNAV and see how that goes. But we will. I guess it's. But yeah, I only go in the morning. I try to do it first thing. A, because it gets me out of bed to do something in the morning, and B, I sometimes have doctor's appointments. Not going into too much detail there, but yeah, I kind of I have to work around my streaming schedule because of my doctor's appointments. So yeah, I try to, but I'd be over the moon if he came in and raided. That would be absolutely phenomenal. But I would probably be speechless, quite honestly. But I do appreciate the sentiment. But I do stream. I try to go at about 6:30 East Coast time in the morning. So I get up about 5:30. I have my coffee, and kind of get the blood flowing and wake up, and get ready for the stream, and then we go at it. And, sometimes it's a quick, very short flight, kind of, like hour and a half or so. Other times it's like this. It's turned into almost 3 hours. So. But yeah, I would be amazed if he did a raid on my channel. That would be amazing. But again, I'm just trying to make the best of it and have some fun and learn and continue to improve and hopefully bring some happiness. A lot of people are unhappy and miserable, and I'm trying to get away from that as much as possible. So yeah. All right. Oh, there's the approach. There's our markers there. I don't think we're close enough for our to engage the RNAV. We might be too far out. But we got to turn a little bit again. There we go. Now we'll turn. There it is. I figure we're at right about the right altitude. So hopefully, once we're lined up and we get a little bit closer, I'm going to try to engage the approach mode and see if it locks in and, as I call it, the tractor beam. The Death Star tractor beam has a hold of us. Murphy Field reminds me of another. I have seen his videos. Two-Tone Murphy, yep. Matter of fact, I was watching one the other day. It was kind of news from like a day or two ago that he was kind of just going over on his own. Star Wars stuff approved. Yeah, I always, whenever the ILS locks in, I always, the tractor beam has been engaged and it will guide us right to the runway. Yeah, I think we have to be a little bit closer. I think right there, right where my cursor is, right there on that big gray dot. I think once we get closer to that, then I can engage the approach mode. But we're at a right altitude, I think, or a good altitude, that if for some reason that doesn't take hold, then we can go ahead and fly it in ourselves. But we'll see if we have good luck with that. So, all right. And I do have my go-around information, but we are going to land one way or the other. Wow, look at this lovely area here. All this green. Yeah, really nice place. At least there's no need to worry about the landing gear on this plane. Yeah, I know. I was flying, I think, an A320 or a 737, and I didn't have the objective thing up to remind me to lower the landing gear, and we landed right on the belly. It's like, why is this thing acting so weird? And I looked and I'm like, oh yeah, there's no landing gear down. That's why. Oops. Get a little bit less altitude again. I think we should be set. Once we get down to about 3,000 feet, I think we'll be okay. Yeah, I have to have the objective thing on to remind me, because even if Fabio landed the CRJ without the gear a week or two ago, still hears about it in his chat. Well, if he can do it and get away with it, I guess I can too. So it's all a learning process sort of thing. So I don't feel so bad if he did it and I've done it, then it's all good. All right, let's see. So the approach mode is right there. Let's see if I click it on, if it locks in at the edge of the glide slope there. I think I hear the beeping, so I think it's going to lock in. Once the GS goes green, then I'll know we're good. Oh, maybe not. need to get a little bit lower.
172 SB01 with 277 at 3.
Come on,
Clear
lock
to land
on.
runway 5.
I think we're right in the sweet spot there.
Cleared to land runway 5, 172 SB01.
Come on, lock in. Seems like, well, from here it seems like we're a little bit high. But come on, lock on. No, I don't think it's going to. But we're still at the edge of the glide slope, so it may lock in here in a moment. I'm waiting for that to go green. If it doesn't pretty soon, I'm just going to have to land this on my own. We are still a little bit high. Oops. Ooh, did it? Nope, it didn't. Okay. It didn't lock. Come on, where's the... I don't think it's going to lock in, but we're going to go ahead and descend, and we're going to do it ourselves here. Approach mode off. Oh well, we tried, but it's alright. I'll get to you in just a moment, Skip. Yeah, we are way high, so I should have gone a little bit lower, but that's okay. We're going to make this happen. Got plenty of runway. We'll just kind of glide over. There we are.
SB01 exit runway when able.
We can turn right here. We don't have to go all the way down there. All right, on behalf of myself and First Officer Axel, I'd like to welcome you to Bristol-Johnson. Is it Alex, not Axel, Alex. Sorry. I'd like to welcome you to Bristol-Johnson Airport. Local time is probably about 9:22 in the morning.
172 SB01 exit runway when able. 172 SB01 contact ground on 121.7.
Going to 121.7, 172 SB01.
So there we are. Parking.
Ground 172 SB01. Request taxi to parking.
172 SB01 taxi to General Aviation parking using taxiway Foxtrot.
Taxiing to General Aviation parking via taxiway Foxtrot 172 SB01.
Flight plan direct from A to B. Should work like a charm when it's in there. Do you have the approach mode? Yeah, I did have it, but for some reason on our nav, it's like hit and miss what works and what doesn't. But that's okay. We were able to get it corrected and land on our own. I was expecting a reduction in altitude I probably should have done it when I saw the marker, which I think it was at 3,900 feet. But I think I should have been, after that I should have been like at 2,200 feet, and then I think it would have locked in on its own, but that's okay. We got it. So, anyway, to continue my standardized speech, on behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, including First Officer, let me make sure I get it right, Axel. It is Axel, not Alex, it's Axel. We would like to welcome you to Bristol-Johnson. We know that you have many viewing options when it comes to your Microsoft Flight Sim streaming pleasures, as I like to call it, and we are glad that you flew with us today. We look forward to flying with you tomorrow in the Spitfire. Didn't have approach loaded in the flight plan. I think I did, but for me it's a bit hit and miss, and it's part of a learning process as well. Skip. So we'll be back tomorrow in the Spitfire. Then we will do some fun flying in the Mach Loop and the Star Wars Canyon. So do tune in for that. Bring a sick bag if necessary. So anyway, look like a straight line, so I don't think you had any in there. Okay, yeah, it might be. That's one of those things that I'm trying to figure out how to improve upon within the limits of the Xbox, like tuning in the approach or the ILS sort of frequencies and whatnot. So I will, that's one of my long-standing homework assignments for myself, is I'm trying to figure out how to improve all that. So yeah, it can be. That's what my understanding is as well, Skip. So but we landed. It's okay. It's all good. Got a good flight. I think we can go ahead and turn off our lights so we don't blind our ground crew. Keep everything else on, just so that we are marked, seen. This looks like a G. It's a Cessna, like a, or is that a day or TBM? Could be a TBM. It's weird how they have these things sitting here, and it's like they got this, like the plane, the prop spinning, but it's not. It's kind of strange how that looks. Oops. Give a little bit more gas there. Come on. Very windy here, that's for sure. There we are. All right, let's stop our engine. And go ahead and turn off our battery. Alternator, there we are. All right. Whew. Good stuff. All right, Skip, let me just read your, enter the airport you take off. Enter where you want to land. Move cursor over the destination and menu, and should give you options. Okay, I will certainly look into that. Anyway, that is going to be it today. We had a night takeoff. Actually, we got 6 minutes and 46 seconds of night flying. That helps. And we had a overall flight time of 2 hours and 45 minutes. Good stuff. And that will, if you want to add airways to follow between A and B, then you need to do that on an empty slot between the takeoff airport. So the best to find out all the options. Okay. Anyway, that is going to be it for today, folks. I do greatly appreciate everybody coming in on Twitch and on YouTube, hanging out. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Have a great rest of your Friday. I will see you all tomorrow morning in the Spitfire. We'll have some fun. And until then, peace. Live long and